Fortnite has been very dry for competitive lately, well luckily in a week's time there is a PlayStation only cup. So if you're on console, keep watching this video and listen up. It starts on the 24th of July at 6 PM until 9 PM, so make sure you're free during this time. Also this whole season there hasn't been any solo tournaments, so if you have been missing them and likely to play this, you'd want to play as well. Opens will take place on the 24th and the top 100 players qualify into finals on the 26th. First place taking home $7,000, second place $4,000 and third $3,000. But the good thing is once you qualify, even if you place top 100, you earn a guaranteed $750. You will be rewarded with PR in this event and 8 points for an exclusive spray, so even if you don't make earnings in this tournament, it's always good to get your best placement. Playing on a PS5 with 120 FPS will give you the best advantage over the other players, but you should expect to go up against keyboard and mouse players also PS4, just make sure not to make any 50-50 plays or unnecessary fights. First game, you typically want a W key since it will be the easiest lobby out of the 10 games, and the point format is 1 kill equals to 2 points rather than the usual 1, which is huge, but don't grief your game for 1 kill, always play it smart. You might also find that you're getting keyed more often, so make sure you're being aware and not being snuck up on. A 10 kill win first game will be a decent start and that should set you up on track. A win is worth 7 points but overall about 65 plus because of all the placement. I'd say even if you aren't a W key type of player, always try win your first game because that'll set you up on track and lead you with a good mentality rather than hot dropping and dying off spawn. Now bear in mind, if you did manage to win your first game after, you'll be put in the more difficult lobbies and people who placed high last game or had a high elo will be put in the same game as you. Even though console players aren't the best players, you'll start to go up against a lot better players than you usually go against, especially if you don't compete much or just play creative and not much other tournaments. Second game, play it out how you usually would. Prioritise capping out your maps because end game that's going to be essential and the difference between getting the win or not. Still try go for kills that game, but be aware of the third parties because this happens more often in console cups. The best way to prepare for this tournament leading up is playing solo rank just to get your confidence up and see how it feels playing in a lobby where everyone is competing to win. Also before this, if I uploaded in time, there's also a Joe's Con to Victory Cash Cup, which would be good practice for you just to see how it feels to be in a console lobby and against the console players. Anything to get yourself familiar and playing at a high level, not versus your average 1v1 in creative, because that won't do you any good. Also knowing what weapons to carry and load out for rotation is important, which I'll cover later in this video. Now creative isn't completely out of the picture. If you struggle with edits or builds, obviously creative is going to be your best bet, and I'd recommend spamming 1v1s because fighting different playstyles daily will really help you improve. But if you think you are a good fighter already and have decent aim, then just work on playing actual games, that's the best practice you will get. Moving into game 3, consistency is going to be the most important role for you. Especially if you manage to win your first game, you always want to try aim for top 5 every game as a minimum, because at least that way you'll get the most placement points and be on track. From the third game onwards, you should notice the lobbies being more stacked, typically because more players are playing more passive rather than just overkilling or spawn -D that are actually trying to win now. You want to see Storm Surge though, it's too early in, but possibly in your fourth game if you have been consistent. Fourth game, because there will be about 40,000 people playing in this tournament, going from the top 40,000 to the top 1,000 is a massive jump. And obviously the lobbies will change, so you can definitely expect to go up against the smarter players, just stick to what you've been doing and always try and get an early rotate. Since we are a little bit into the video, I'll talk about the ideal loadout you want to be carrying every game. You want to be holding the Sentinel Palm since this is by far the best shotgun in this format, but annoyingly not easy to find. The Spire Rifle is good because you can apply pressure easily without needing to reload for a while. You can hold the scanner but it's a personal preference, that or 2 heals. And then finally the base piece for rotation. Even though it's not the most ideal one, you can easily get beamed. There's also sprites that give you dashes, just watch out for full damage, but they can be very useful. When rotating, you shouldn't be shooting anyone around you because that will draw attention to you and grief yourself in the process. If they shoot you first, make a quick 1x1, hold off, then rotate. You always want to be positioned in the middle so that way you have a higher chance in pulling the next zone. Also being on the right layer endgame is extremely important. You don't want to be contesting height with little mats. Middle layer you'll find less people, low ground is where majority of players will be. Fifth game, if you're on place at 1k or lower, you're definitely doing something wrong and need to slow your games down. If you find out you're dying off spawn a lot, then you need to change up your job or have a different approach. I'll be giving you 3 drops to work with just so you have a rough idea and can use these. The first drop spot we will be going over is by an outpost enclave, a separate island off the map with 13 total chest spawns. Also having fishing rods which could be useful. You most likely will be caught by 1 or 2 others, but they can't be the best since they are landing edge map. If you do win off spawn, expect to rotate to zone since it never pulls, but it's very easy to rotate in. Second drop spot is near the shrine and span. There's 17 total chest spawns. Not much people really land here because it's out of the way and a random location, but still expect about 1 to 2 people conning you. You also have a gas station near, so if you need to swerve away you can, or go there for more loot. Mats wise, you can mine up metal here, which is important since it's limited around the map, and then if you rotate around you can get brick and wood. For the third and final drop spot, it's edge map once again with 7 chest spawns in total, just behind the first order base on the shore. No fishing rod spawns here sadly, and for people contesting you I'd say 1 person if you're lucky. Literally no one would land here, but it's good to get some loot and move. If we look a little down, if you have time whilst rotating you can go to this beach area and loot down here to pick up what you need. Definitely get an early rotate if you do land it though. It should only take about 30 seconds to a minute to loot and go. If you're feeling adventurous and confident, land at a name POI, just be aware majority players will be landing with you. One thing you don't want to do is switch drop spots multiple times, because every time you end up dying not being familiar with the spot or loot paths. The difference between round 1 and round 2 is in round 2 it's 3 points per kill, but they're obviously more harder to get since you'll be against the best PlayStation players in your region. Now for the most important part is how many points you'll need to qualify into round 2 finals and make earnings. And with this you can judge throughout your games how well you need to be doing. So it will be around 330 to 340 points in the EU and NA Central, the main regions for a safe score. But it's always best to go a little above just so you aren't right at the bottom and have no stress to qualify. You will need to be gold ranked to compete in this tournament, which is usually the first rank you are given, if not it won't take long to reach. Also have 2FA turned on and obviously own a PlayStation to play it. Comment down below what place you think you'll be getting in this tournament. Then come back after the tournament has ended and see if you're correct or any close. This also seems to be the last Fortnite tournament of the season apart from FNCS, so make sure you do give it your best shot. Just focus on placement since if you win a game with only 1 kill that's still heavy points and can set you up. And if you do mess up a couple games that's fine. Don't go and expect them to win every match because that's just unrealistic. The reason why pros always play so well is because they have a good mentality, meaning if they do bad one game, the next is completely refreshed and they go in open minded. Staying on the topic of pros, if you want to be a better fighter or have smarter game knowledge, watch them and see how they are rotating and fighting. Eventually you'll pick things up and try add it into your own gameplay. I'm going to end the video here. Hopefully you have enough time to practice before this tournament. Comment down below if you will be playing and what region you're from. Make sure to like and subscribe with notifications on because 99% of you watching on. Also I will be streaming this tournament so make sure to tune in. Also we can talk. Peace out.